Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel, and welcome to our second playthrough of Perdition's Mouth, Abyssal Rift, where we're playing the second scenario, Anvil and Hammer, and we're just about to go into episode 5. I've had no indication of any mistakes last turn, which makes a nice change. So what we'll do is we'll get straight into episode 5 and the hero phase. And here we are at the hero phase, so let's spin all these around as normal. And who is going to go first? Well, I think we'll have Elisa go first, because she's just going to go 1 onto this sprint tab. So she spent 1 of her 5 action points. She's got 4 left, but she also has to pick a response card. So let's flip this. We've got a high one, +2 will do brilliantly. So she's got 4 action points left, +2, 6 action points. So she's going to go 1, 2. She's right next to this lever. She's going to spend 1 action point to throw the lever, so we'll turn it round like that. So that's 3 action points. She's got 3 left. Now unfortunately, unlike the treasure chests, these stay here, so we won't be able to move through this way, so we're gonna have to use the other 3 action points to go 1, 2, 3. So we'll have to come up this way, but that's pretty good. We've thrown one of the levers and we've got close to the next lever. I think it's a good plan to have Elisa doing it, because even if we threw this lever, it looks like she'd have to go the whole way around, but with Elisa, hopefully we'll be able to get her onto that special tab and she will be able to use blink, and that'll save us a lot of time, I think. So that's worked out extremely well. So that is it for Elisa. And next up, I think we will have Tyra. And here we are with Tyra. First of all, let's get rid of that. I should have got rid of that before. Now, Tyra is going to do exactly the same thing. She's going to go on the sprint tab. So she's going to go 1, 2. That leaves her 1 action point left. Remember, she's enraged, so she will also get an attack. So that'd move her 1. So we need another one of these. Oh, a +3. Brilliant. So that means she's got 4. Fantastic. So if she could go 1, 2. Unfortunately, she doesn't have enough to get on here. So I think we'll just move the 2. 1, 2. Bit of a waste of this +3, but never mind. So we'll get there, because she'll need all 3 of her action points the next move to sort of pop herself on here. So yeah, that's unfortunate. She'd just been 1 nearer, we could have got on top here, but the good thing is she's within 2 of this bone worm, and that's what we wanted. So we'll get rid of that. She's enraged, so she does get an attack. She has got a combat of 5, and the bone worm has a defense of 1. We've already used a +3, so let's just do the response card for the bone worm. +2, not good enough. Woohoo! So that is goodbye, Mr. Bone Worm. So we've got rid of him as well, and because she's done her combat for this turn, that excuse me, that means that she still remains enraged. So that is it for Tyra. Fantastic. So who's left? It has to be Olazabal. And here we are with Olazabal. What's Olazabal going to do? Well, she's going to move to the move segment. So 1, 2, 3. So she's got 1 action point left, but she does get an extra card. So let's see what we get. And we get Wall of Stone, which is a special. Place a wall token in an empty square in your line of sight. Obviously your line of sight cannot be beyond 6. I've bought us some time, but we need to keep moving. Brilliant. So we've got a really good place to use this, which is there. But some fun, these guys will probably come through. But we've still got that nest up there. So even if these guys come through, it could still be useful. Because we could like put chillines coming out of there and are there any others? No, just those chillines. If we have the chillines coming out of there and have a wall of stone here, then that will do the job nicely. Right, oh, so wall of stone. Put that on her player area. Excellent. So she's got one action point left. So she is just going to move up one. There we go. Now, I was thinking around, you know, promoting a guard during the spawn, but I'm not so sure now. I may actually promote the acolyte, because the only reason is, if we have a look at the watchstone, we've got a spawn, then an attack. So if we get a +2 here and we promoted a guard, the guard would be shooting at us. Don't want that. So I may put an acolyte here anyway. I know I talked about last turn I wanted a guard because it'd be quite easy to kill it, but I certainly don't want the guard spawning then attacking. So yes, we'll see. We'll see anyway. We'll make the decision because we'll know what the number on the card is as soon as we get to the enemy phase. So, yep, talking of the enemy phase, let's get to it. And here we are in the enemy phase. So first things first, let's spin that round, because all of our heroes have gone. Right, the enemy phase is a response card, a +1. Excellent. We have got a red eye, but we've got nothing in the reserve, so that's fine. We can ignore that. A +1 is just a spawn. So because it is just a spawn, we will indeed spawn a guard. If it had been a 2, we'd have spawned an acolyte, because obviously the acolyte, I don't think they've got, yeah, they haven't got the range, so nothing would have been able to attack. So we'd have spawned an acolyte. But because we're not getting attack as well, we will spawn a guard, because it is, whoop, let's move this round. It is a square secondary spawn. So we go to the squares here, and we'll take this guy. Now we're going to spawn him there. And the reason we're going to spawn him there, one, it's adjacent to the trapdoor, so he could only spawn there, there and there. Can't spawn here. Well, I suppose he could. I suppose he could spawn there, but we don't want to spawn him there. We'll spawn him here. He's within 2 range of these two. These two have got 2 range, so he is well covered. So these two are going to have a really good go at killing him in the next turn. Right, so that's the spawn. We've only got 1 threat, so that's groovy. Get rid of the card. And that is the end of the enemy phase. But let's get straight in to the next turn and the hero phase. And here we are at the hero phase. So let's spin everybody around. And who's going to go first? Well, Olazabal is going to go first. And what's she going to do? Well, let's do a bit of moving. She's going to try and hit this guy. So, Stone of Destiny, we're going to go 1, 2 onto the attack segment, which means she draws another card. I don't think she's got that many left. No, she's only got 3 left. She's going to have to rest at some point. And she gets Techno Miracle, which is an all symbol card. So a 2 and 5 for aiding, though that's not too good in this game because I've picked the wrong heroes to stick together. It's all about the design. So Techno Miracle goes into her hand. She's now got 4 cards in her hand. Good, good. And attack. So she spent 2, which means she's got 2 action points left, which means 2 for 1 gives her an extra attack point. Her attack anyway is 2. So we've got 3 versus a defense of 2. Well, obviously we're going to have to increase that. So I think what we will do is we'll spend Techno Miracle, I think. So that will give us an extra 2. So that is now 5 against 2. Let's just check. It is 2 defense, isn't it, for the guard? Yes, so 5 against 2. We've already seen a +3 card. So let's go for it. It will need a +3. It only gets a +1. So that's good. We have put a wound onto that chap. Excellent. We'll discard this. And that is the end of Olazabal's turn. Excellent. Right, after Olazabal, we may as well go with Tyra. And here we are with Tyra. What we'll do is we'll spin her around. You may notice there's like a bit of paper underneath her. The reason for that is just so I can remind myself that she's enraged. So there she is. She has spun round. She's only got 3 action points, remember. She's going to spend 2 to go onto the charge segment. She's not actually going to move. She's going to stay where she is. And she is going to attack. Now, she's got an attack of 5. This guy has got a defense of 2. Again, we're not going to add anything to it. We're just going to hope that we don't get the +3 shuffle card. And we get a +2. So that is good enough. And this guy, he popped up out of the trapdoor and got hit on the head twice. And is now dead. And we love it. So there we go, that is our 15th enemy that we've managed to kill. So we're doing pretty well. And we've got rid of one of those guards. There's only one left in the pot now, so cool. So that is it for Tyra. So we'll spin that back round. In fact, we'll spin these 2 back round again. They're going to start heading that way again, I think. So that is excellent. Right, we've only got 1 hero left, and that is Elisa. And here we are with Elisa. What's she going to do? Well, she's going to spend 2 action points to also go onto the charge tab. But she is not going to be attacking anything. She just wants it for the movement. So she spent 2 action points. She's got 3 left. She's going to spend 1 to move adjacent to that lever. And she's going to spend another 1 to throw the lever. So we have thrown both of these levers. Now, is she going to move? So this is just, I'm just setting myself up for next turn, because ideally we'd want to get her onto the special. So she could use blink. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which would leave her 1 action point left. And she does have Grand Theatre, but that doesn't give her any sort of boost. So we'd get 2, 1, 2, and that'd get us to here. I think that's good enough. Yeah, she's not going to spend the other action point she's got. She'll just leave it at that. She's thrown the lever. Brilliant stuff. So we'll spin this back round. And that is the end of the hero phase. And that means we've got to move into the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. So let's pick a response card. Oh, +3, shuffle the deck, and it's +3 as well. Oh, we've got attack, move, and attack. Let's just move the bead. Attack, move, attack. Oh! The first attack will miss, but yes, the move and attack may cause a problem for us. But, oh no, it won't actually. We've got very lucky again, I think. But it's only because this guy is getting in the Ratika's way. So I think we've got away with it. Right, anyway, let's do it. So first of all, we have got an attack. Nobody is within range whatsoever, so that's fantastic. Then we have a move. And again, thanks to the way the priority movement is, this is going to really help us out, because that guy is going to move there. it only has one movement. After the bone worm, it's the Ratika. The Ratika cannot move past the bone worm. He can only come in at the back here. So that is good, because otherwise it had 5 movement and it would have been attacking somebody. But it's blocked off. As I mentioned last time, the Ratika isn't big enough to shove this guy out of the way, so that is cool. We've got movement for our friend here, so he's going to go 1, 2. Oh no, he won't cover that off. He'll go 1, 2 down here, and then he will start moving across. Let's orientate him. He'll start moving across here towards the door. That is cool. And our last Watchstone movement, we go onto the attack tab. But again, nobody else is within range, so we've done really well, even though we got a +3 card. So I think what's helping us out here, right, let's shuffle all these back together. What's helped us out here is what we did right at the beginning, which is we killed as many enemies as we could straight up. I think that was a really good plan. If we'd sort of, if we hadn't have done that, I think we'd be getting swarmed a lot more. But I think that particular tactic right at the beginning of the scenario has paid off. Right, there we go. Yet another shuffle of all these. Considering there's only one +3 shuffle the deck card in here, it comes up pretty often. There we go. So we've got a full deck once again. So that is the end of the enemy phase, and it's also the end of this episode of Perdition's Mouth Abyssal Rift. We have cracked on. We have thrown these 2 levers. That escape hatch or whatever it is now open, and we can get out of there. This bone worm is doing a great job. He's almost our 4th hero. He's stopping everything getting through because he's so slow. So that is excellent. The only sort of fly in the ointment is this acolyte. It will get out. It's going to get out, and it's going to shove the threat up. I can't see us catching it up at all. These guys haven't got the range, and obviously we had to put Elisa up here to throw these 2 levers. Next turn, well, I'm wondering now if we should actually open another of these treasure chests, but am I being greedy? I may be being greedy there, because yes, these 2 are going to struggle to get out. So if we can get a move for Tyra. Well, again, Tyra's not going to be able to move next turn. She just hasn't got the wherewithal to do it. She just does not have the requisite action points to do it. So we'll have to sort of set her up. We'll probably have to put her onto the bash tab. So then she only uses 1 action point to get onto the move for the turn after that. So she'll have 2 action points for move, and she will get a card, and then we hopefully will be able to have the 3 action points we need just to hop onto here, because that's going to be really difficult for her to get over difficult terrain. So we're going to have to work that one out. Yes, because she's going to have 2 action points left. We will need that 3rd action point, so we'll have to spend a card, you know, to make it up to 3 action points. Then she can hop onto here. So that is the only way we can do that. So this is how she's been really slowed. And what we're going to do, it's pretty much the same sort of thing for Olazabal. She's going to have to hop over the difficult terrain here. So she could sprint though. She could sprint, so there's a good chance that she can hop onto here. So she only spends 1 action point to get onto sprint. That'll leave her 3 plus whatever she gets on here. So yes, that's the plan for Olazabal. For Elisa, well, yes, we do want to get her onto the special tab. Definitely. So we'll get her onto the special tab. She can blink twice, diagonally, 1, 2. That cuts out all that. And she can start to meet up again with these 3. And then we'll get in a tight group and sort of fight everything off. So, yes, it's looking a lot better. As I say, getting it down to 3 enemies on the board is helping us out. But yeah, once this guy escapes though, we could be in a bit more trouble, especially with this nest here. But we'll see how we go on. So that is the end of episode 5. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions, for all the views, and for all the likes. It is very much appreciated. As ever, if I have made a mistake, please let me know, and I will do my best to try and fix it. But hopefully, we haven't made a mistake, so great stuff. And yes, thanks very much to anybody who's been across the Board Game Links to upvote the site, and thank you to everybody on BGG who has commented on the videos or liked the threads or whatever. Again, thank you very much for that. It is much appreciated. So, I hope you will join me for episode 6 of Perdition's Mouth, Abyssal Rift. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.